Hello and a warm welcome to TBC News. Our top stories. Commissions to address Ngorongoro issues now official. UK commits to proficient and progressive Dar es Salaam port.
I think there are lots of opportunities in terms of greening the port and particularly making it more sustainable.
Good evening, I am Faida Gaga. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online. Also, get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook and X pages at TBC Online. The President of Tanzania, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, has officially inaugurated 2 presidential commissions to address Ngorongoro issues related to land disputes and voluntary relocation. The inauguration of the 2 commissions has been held at the State House in Dar es Salaam, as stated by President Samia on December 1st, 2024, in the Arusha region, when she met and held talks with the leaders and representatives of the Ngorongoro and surrounding areas. The 2 commissions will be led by Judge Dr. Gerald Ndika, who is the chairperson of the Evaluation Commission on Land Crisis Issues in the Ngorongoro Conservation Area, and Engineer Musa Iyombe, who is the chairperson of the Evaluation Commission for Voluntary Migration of the Ngorongoro Conservation Area residents.
Dhamana kubwa na nchi imewaamini kwamba mtatuletea ufumbuzi wa kudumu wa swala hili.
You have been given a great responsibility, and the country believes that you will provide a lasting solution to this issue. Do your work with confidence, integrity, and professionalism, while keeping our country in mind. We believe in your abilities, and we're confident that we'll find lasting solutions to this challenge using our own intellect. This is the true meaning of sovereignty for Tanzanians.
Africa by 2050 will have a quarter of the world's population, making it the biggest free trade area, necessitating concrete measures to remove trade barriers to boost trade and investment across the continent. Speaking to TBC News, the UK Minister for Africa, Lord Collins, says only 18% of the trade in Africa is intracontinental, insisting Tanzania-UK Father Partnership aims to increase the number. Nasser Kingo has more.
UK Minister for Africa, Lord Collins, is here at the port of Dar es Salaam. After the visit, I got a chance to talk to him. First, I wanted to know from him, why Tanzania, why Port of Dar es Salaam, and why now?
Because the United Kingdom has a new government. I've been a minister now for Africa for 6 months. And for me, Tanzania is a very important part of our partnership. A partnership of equals and respect focused on our joint mission of economic growth. So that's why I'm here, but also to see what our partnership has delivered in terms of the expansion of the port, how it's been able to adapt to greater cargoes, greater ships, bigger ships. So it's a fantastic opportunity for me to see in person that partnership deliver that economic growth.
What future holds for Tanzania-UK partnership to ensure that our port continues to be a major trade hub for Tanzania and the wider East African region?
Africa by 2050 will have a quarter of the world's population. It's the biggest free trade area with the new free trade agreement. And when I've met the Secretary General of that agreement, he's been focused on how we can remove the barriers to trade. 18% of trade in Africa is intercontinental. We need to increase that, and our partnership hopes to deliver on it.
After this visit, we are going to see more partnership for projects for the development of ports in Dar es Salaam and other parts of the country, both sea and lake ports.
How this Tanzania-UK partnership will make the port of Dar es Salaam greener.
I think there are lots of opportunities in terms of greening the port, and particularly making it more sustainable, and having renewables ensures that actually it becomes more cost effective as well as contributing to a greener economy. and a brighter future. So we're certainly working together in partnership to see how we can leverage the investment that's required to deliver on that.
We have the green port policy, so we expect to use more efficient equipments that are environmental friendly, and they can support the productivity at the high level without affecting the environment.
Well, it has been a very successful visit of the Minister of United Kingdom for African Affairs, Lord Collins, here at the port of Dar es Salaam. And this visit signifies the deepened cooperation between Tanzania and the UK. What will happen next will be very key to make this particular port even more important for Tanzania's development. Reporting from the port of Dar es Salaam, Nasser Kingo, TBC News.
Thank you, Nasser, for that report. The Open University of Tanzania has announced a $9 million investment in the construction of science laboratories aiming at enhancing practical learning for students and educators. The initiative, funded by Higher Education for Economic Transformation Program, seeks to develop highly skilled professionals by providing access to modern scientific equipment and hands-on training. Speaking at the contract signing ceremony, the chairperson of the University Council, Professor Joseph Kuzilwa, emphasizes the significance of the project, which will be implemented in Kigoma, Mwanza, and Arusha.
Na leo tunataka kusema kumshukuru sana Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania.
I would like to join those who have spoken before me in expressing gratitude to the Honorable President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan, for her outstanding efforts, particularly in bringing significant improvement to the education sector. These advancements align with the reforms introduced following the review of the 2014 National Education Policy 23rd edition, which aimed to revolutionize education at all levels. However, today our focus is on higher education. The Honorable President has worked tirelessly to secure funding for enhancing higher education through various means, particularly infrastructure development. As numerous studies have shown, there's a strong correlation between investment in education at all levels and economic growth, not only in terms of the national income, but also in improving individuals' livelihoods.
Project Supervisor Professor Alex Makulilo states that the construction is scheduled to be completed within 8 months, with the contractor expected to deliver the project by November this year as per the agreement.
This project, implemented at the Open University of Tanzania, is valued at $9 million and is allocated across different areas, with a significantly 75% directed towards construction. This highlights the project emphasizes on infrastructure development. As a part of initiative, 7 laboratories will be established across the country's 7 zones. However, in today's event, we have officially signed an agreement with the contractors for the construction of 3 laboratories, which will be located in Arusha, Mwanza, and Kigoma.
The initiative marks a significant step toward strengthening science education and research in Tanzania. In other news, the Minister for Tourism and Heritage Zanzibar, Mudrik Ramadhan Soraga, and the co-founder of Trace Group, Olivier Luche, have officially announced that Zanzibar will be the official host of Trace Awards Africa 2025. This major international event is expected to positively impact Tanzania's tourism, investment, and music industries. During a press conference, the two have emphasized that the event will provide a unique opportunity for Zanzibar to increase tourist numbers, attract new investors, and boost the entertainment sector globally.
It's part of the tourism agenda for Zanzibar to grow regionally and globally, and through platforms such as the Trace Music Award, which has a global appeal, global recognition. It aligns directly with our general plan. So this is an initiative that for us personally, we very much endorse and are in favor of, and we hope that with the collaborative partnership that will be established, because remember this is a long-term relationship, it's not just a one-off event where we are hosting the award show, but also it's a summit, and it's a summit that will bring together stakeholders from the tourism industry, from the music industry. It's a workshop, there's seminars, so it's an all-encompassing event that will really put Zanzibar on the map, not only in terms of protecting talent, brand recognition, but also enhancing tourism in itself.
Lucia adds that the Trace Awards Africa will bring together top artists from across the continent, with big stars like Rema from Nigeria and Zuchu from Tanzania confirmed to perform.
Keep our weekend contribute to the development of the country using the power of music, the power of culture. We're having maybe some big event once a year, and also try to elevate, to develop, to bring, to upskill the capacities of the different stakeholders to produce big event, to produce big TV show, and to be part of this complex organization.
Tanzania is expected to host the second United Nations Tourism Regional Forum to be held in Arusha on April 23rd to 25th. This is happening after Tanzania being selected as the host country for the forum during the first forum in Africa, organized by the World Tourism Organization Africa Region, which was held in Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe in July last year. Speaking to journalists in Dar es Salaam, the Minister for Tourism, Ambassador Dr. Pindi Chana, says the decision was based on Tanzania's request to organize this forum in the country due to the large treasure of cultural heritage and traditional foods from various communities in the country.
Mkutano huu utahusisha matukio mbalimbali ikiwemo maonyesho ya mapishi.
The event will involve different categories, including cooking, variety of foods, food and drink tasting, panel discussions, and various presentations, new opportunities regarding food tourism and how it can benefit the local communities.
On the other hand, the UN Tourism Regional Director for Africa, Elsia Grandcourt, has congratulated Tanzania for being ready to host the forum.
Loves, and whenever we travel, we all get to taste the wonderful food. And we also want to congratulate Your Excellency and your team on the excellent work that has been done, because we see that in the region, you are one of the countries that has really shown the progress and fully recovered from COVID. You managed to grow the numbers by more than 50%, and we see that it's across the country. And for this also, we congratulate you.
The forum aims to bring together 300 stakeholders from the tourism sector from various countries and will provide an opportunity to promote the food available in Tanzania, while the official guest of honor for the forum is expected to be President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan. The Pan-African Women Organization, PAWO, has paid tribute to the late Sam Nujoma at the Namibian Embassy in Tanzania. Speaking to TBC News, one of the PAWO leaders, Ambassador Gertrude Mongela, says the organization was established even before the African Union with the primary aim of empowering women to mobilize and unite African women. Antonia Kivaria has more details.
Gertrude Mongela highlights the contribution of women leaders during and after the struggle and sharing ideas on how to fight for independence of their nations.
It was an organization which was started in 1962 in Tanzania. The first meeting was in Tanzania, where women from all parts of Africa came together and formed the organization. The commitment of the African women at that time, when transport was not even that easy, but because they were determined to liberate Africa, they started working together as area years, 1962.
Among them, Shamim Khan and Janet Kahama shares their experience as PAO members, with Shamim Khan making history as the first female elected member of the parliament for Morogoro Urban, serving from 1985 to 1990.
It was formed to bring in all African women together so that we unite and we all talk the same language, because we as Africans and women, we all have the same problems, and these problems can be solved if we come together and have dialogues.
We have to give ideas, work for that. It was interesting, and I still would say I wish they could get more people now. Most of us now are old. I'm 81 years old. Now imagine, we need younger generations to come in.
Furthermore, the ambassador of Namibia to Tanzania, Libius Tobias, has announced plans to transform the dormitory in Kongwa, which Sam Nujoma used during the independence struggle, into a library. This library will serve to preserve and honor the history of Africa.
The dormitory in Kongwa, where they have been during the liberation struggle, into a library. This is done, or we came up with a good idea because the place, Kongwa itself now, is turned into a secondary school. And there are students, the young people that need to know the history of our countries, our continent, and the history of the world. They should also know the contributions made by our great leaders of Baba wa Taifa, Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, Sam Shafishuna Nujoma of Namibia, the Samora Machel of Mozambique, Agustino Neto of Angola, and Santos and others, and Nelson Mandela of South Africa, Robert Mugabe of Zimbabwe.
Founded in 1962 as the African Women Union and later renamed the Pan-African Women's Organization in 1974, PAO originally aimed to combat colonialism and racial discrimination. It has since evolved to focus on human rights and peace activism, with its headquarters located in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Antonia Kivaria, TBC News.
Still here in Dar es Salaam, the senior officer of the Bank of Tanzania, Deogracius Mnyamani, says his institution is committed to digital transformation of the financial industry so as to provide quality services to Tanzanians and attain international standards in financial services. Peter Mganga reports.
According to FinTech Africa, 60% of the surveyed banks have most of their operations digitally transformed. This indicates that a large number of organizations in the region are at the forefront of digital innovation and demonstrating high level of technological maturity.
Our team of IT is very well capable, their capabilities are well built every now and then. They go for particular training, specialized trainings, just to make sure we are up and running in pace with the advancement of technology. The central bank keeps pace and it embraces technology because there is no way provision of financial services in this country or in the world it forces us to go into that. So that's why you see there's a lot of advancement. Whenever they come into our market, we are able to cope with them because of the embracement, the way the central bank embrace advancements in technology.
On the other hand, Chacha Wangengi, who is a manager Banking Supervision Bank of Tanzania BOT, says laws and regulations are the main pillars in the management of banks and local financial institutions, while explains how BOT managed to regulate local financial institutions in Tanzania.
There's a critical economic role to play to the market. There's this area to safeguard the depositors' interest, but also is a platform where credits can be advanced to productive economic sectors. We can also conduct some trainings from time to time to ensure that the staff and management of those banks and board, they are aware of the regulations and circulars which are being provided by the bank.
Bank of Tanzania engaged in assessment of the financial soundness of banks and financial institutions through analysis of the statistical and other returns that are electronically submitted to the bank periodically. Peter Mganga, TBC News, Dar es Salaam.
Minister for Transport, Professor Makame Mbarawa, says the government continues to be committed in the construction of railways and roads infrastructure to improve the transport sector in the country. Professor Mbarawa made the remarks when he attended the 35th anniversary of cooperation between the German company BPW and Superdol, insisting that the country continues to grow. Connectivity is key.
The government of United Republic of Tanzania recognizes the critical role of transport infrastructure in national development. Therefore, we are committing to expand and modernizing our road and railway network, improving connectivity between urban and rural areas, enhancing cross-border trade with our neighboring countries.
On the other hand, the German ambassador to Tanzania, Thomas Terstegen, and the executive director of the Superdol company, Saif Ali, say the 35-year partnership has increased business and employment opportunities for Tanzanians and Germans.
Today marks yet another milestone in the strong and long-standing partnership between Germany and Tanzania, particularly between BPW, Germany, and Superdol. This collaboration has been instrumental in advancing technology transfer, skill development, and industrial capacity, strengthening our shared vision for growth and innovation.
To thank the government of Tanzania, under the leadership of Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, and the Ministry of Transport, for your dedication in massive infrastructure improvements. We have witnessed a new era, the era where Tanzania is becoming the logistic hub of East and Central Africa.
The government of Tanzania, through the Ministry of Transport, vows to continue streamline policies that will help the private sector to achieve the goals of stimulating economic activities in the country. Now, before we wind up local news, let's have a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Do not miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. Now let's have a look at international news as compiled and read to you by Nyambona Masamba.
International news starts in Africa. Aid organization Doctors Without Borders are calling for protection for civilians and humanitarian access as heavy fighting between M23 rebels and the army continues in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. The port of Bukavu have just reopened after weeks of fighting. It is a week since the city was taken by M23 forces. They have the overrun of the airport and they are rapidly advancing further south. The UN blames M23 for human rights abuses. The Office of UN Human Rights Commission say they have report of summary execution of children by M23 after they entered the city of Bukavu last week. They say they are also aware of the children were obsession of weapons. They are called of Rwanda and M23 to ensure that human rights and international humanitarian law are respected. To South Africa, foreign ministers from G20 countries are meeting South Africa, although the U.S. Secretary of State won't be there. The impact of President Trump's new administration on the group and other international bodies is likely to dominate the meeting. At the opening briefing, G20 summit organizers outlined the agenda. Numerous working groups discussing topics ranging from trade to climate change, all under the umbrella of slogan solidarity, equality, and sustainability. But there is clear mission among the guests. The U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio boycotting the event to protest what the Trump's administration wrongly says are plans by South African government to seize land from white farmers. The sanction on land, one of the many executive orders signed by President Trump last month. It is little addressing obliges action of Republican of South Africa. In a State of the Nation address, the South African president has a message of his own without mentioning Trump's name.
We are, as South Africans, a resilient people, and we will not be bullied. We will speak with one voice.
That was international news. Sports news up next. And in sports news, Simba Sports Club will take on the Green Angels of Egypt Al Masry in the CAF Confederation Cup quarter-final after a draw held in Doha, Qatar earlier today. Simba will start the first leg match away in Egypt before a return leg game at Benjamin Mkapa. And if Simba wins, they will play semi-final against the winner of the match between Zamalek and South Africa, Stellenbosch. In other sports news, Trigger Stars head coach Bakari Shime says the impressive win by 3-1 against Equatorial Guinea is the one step ahead to secure ticket for Women African Cup of Nations WAFCON 2026. Head coach Shime adds that the victory has been enhanced by the experience from the players, hoping that they do the same in the return leg match and qualify for WAFCON 2026. Trigger Stars goals were scored by Stumai Abdallah and Akia Lunyamila and Diana Lucas. That's it.
For quite a long time, we did not play any competitive match like this. And if we didn't play this match, we could have gone to the competition without any experience. So this match has given us a chance to see our mistakes and get time to make correction before competition. Even though we are going to prepare for the return leg match, but we believe that the match helped us to do well in WAFCON.
That was sports news. And now before we wind up the news bulletin for tonight, let's have a look at the weather forecasts for the next 24 hours.
Once again, this is 24 hours weather forecast from Tanzania Meteorological Authority as presented to you by Godfrey Kazenja. Average wind speed expected over some part of our country. Except on the northern coast, wind expected to flow at the speed of 40 km per hour. Instead of the sea expected